Hey everybody, so I'm back. Somebody knocked on the door on the last one, and I just, this is my more relaxed live because I'm talking about life stuff. Like I said, that last video ended on 24/24. I was like, what? I wrote that sucker down. I'll be looking into that. This isn't charged enough. You guys are always changing the orientation around. There you go. You need to let that charge. So I'm gonna tell you right now, faith is amazing, and we are more abundant than we know. I'm going to say that our mindset is what carries us day to day to day to day to day, like day by day. How's your life going to be? Mine has been pretty good. Have I been stressed out? Yes. Do I have days of complaining? Heck yes, because you get trained in living your life one particular way. And I'm just here to tell you that it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, life is not as bad as they train you it would be when you decide to step away from the mainstream world and try and figure out things for yourself. But one of the things that I could tell you that is a very good thing to lean into doing for yourself before you have to do it because you need to figure some stuff out is do all kinds of self work. So shadow work is a big part of that. Many free shadow work things you can find, do them. Okay. I found a really good one at a group that I belong in at Facebook. There's a lot of different articles and stuff like this online. You can really start looking into yourself and working on some things on a daily basis. I think another really good thing about no longer working for someone that nobody tells you. So I'm gonna be first to tell you your body adjusts. Your physical form literally adjusts. And it takes a while, I think, to get over the nervousness of not working for someone. I'm telling you, it's because you get nervous. It takes a while for your body to adjust to the sleep pattern too. When I first quit, like I'm a natural night owl, but me and my body took night owl to a whole nother level. I was watching dawn every day. You understand? And going to sleep and waking up in the afternoon. That's not normal. Not coming from somebody that had to be at work 9 o'clock, working from home, and had to be to work 9 o'clock when I was working in town. You get up, you got your rhythms, and but those rhythms are artificial, and I found that out when I quit because this how I knew it's artificial. Because when I got somewhere important to go, let's say I have to be shoot let's say I have to be at an appointment 8 o'clock in the morning for some reason because I'm thinking, oh, I got this appointment at 8 o'clock and I'm going to bed at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, what's we going to do? I don't know what happens, but it's like a clock begins to turn, like do do, do 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 do, like that, right? And 2 3 days ahead of time, my clock switches and I'm up on time to get ready and transport myself to this appointment. I've seen this happen so many times since I quit because we're very trained by clocks. We're very trained by um expectations even. We are trained by expectations. And I didn't know how I was going to fare having to go to different appointments in the morning. And I knew for darn certain I was going to bed in the morning. Honey, your body adjusts, and I just kept pushing. Another thing, as I've told everybody here numerous times, I am a Dr. Joe person, Dr. Joe Dispenza. But recently, I had to kind of chill on Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations are awesome, and I mean they are awesome. They help to heal little weird crooks in my body, right? Especially like I won't say it healed my sciatica, but I'm telling you, I don't have sciatica. And I was feeling it just before I was feeling it for a while just before I left I was feeling it before we went into the pandemic. I was going through that issue. I really was. And Dr. Joe's meditations, again, water rising, get it, have it in your chest of things to use that will naturally help you heal because it's meditation. Pardon me, I'm moving that computer. And I still whip that thing out. I like to do water rising. I love blessing of the energy centers. But of recent, I've gotten into this very feminine vibe when it comes to meditation. I'm not so much goal oriented and focused on reaching this place, which is what you're kind of focused on getting to a place when you're working with Dr. Joe's meditations versus the feminine ones. I'm just letting myself flow during meditation, and that feels good too. Okay. I mean, that feels good. If you are interested in doing that, look up look up anything on acceptance. I think I did allowing. I think let me see. Let me see. Because I did a search on YouTube and I was just like allowing meditation something. 1 second. No. I just receiving. It was a receiving meditation and accepting meditation. Anything you can look at that just allows things where you are just receiving, right? I have recently gotten into this thing of understanding the polarities of the two, that masculine and feminine, that law of gender is the 12th law of the laws of the universe, which I had one moment. Oh, my cat's on it. Never mind that. I have gotten into really studying the 12 laws of the universe, right? And the last one is the law of gender, but quite frankly, it's really actually repeated throughout all 12 laws in some type of way. It's there. That energy is there. But I've had an opportunity to do some work in my house, and I just saw um in doing my research on YouTube University that the receiving pipe is the female pipe and that the pipe that goes in the pipe is the male pipe. I was like, wow, wow, okay, all righty, right? But that's in everything. It's in literally everything. And so that's been there. What else? I mean, you name it. Also, food. Food been going up and down, honey. If I can get my hands on some of the sumptuousness and I feel like going somewhere to get it, I'm gonna get it. But honey, and I had to cut back on my not DoorDash, my Go Puffs. I'm a bit of a Go Puff fanatic. I'll say that, but out of necessity, because your money changes when you do this type of thing. It goes up, it goes down. It's feast or famine, right? You either sinking or swimming. It's one, two. But your faith is what allows you to swim a lot of the time. And I started this off with Go Puff. I'm a Go Puff nut. Okay. Don't let me scroll through the app and they have my creamer. I'm getting it. But it's more expensive for just the creamer itself on the app than at the store. And there's all these extra fees for this one thing. And generally, I haven't made it to the threshold that they want me to make it to order anything. So I also always got to get some chips and some popcorn because I'm a snack. I like to snack. Right? I learned that. I've learned in this past year, I'm a snack woman. Okay. I like a good meal. I like a good meal. I really do. Okay. But I like to snack more so throughout the house, throughout the day. When you work from home, you're working for yourself, and you're a spiritualist, I just think you learn things about yourself you didn't know before. Okay, I'm serious, man. I'm serious. That GoPuff thing, it's like a habit. It's not DoorDash. I don't got no problem with no Grubhub. I don't got no problem with Slice. I don't got no problem with Uber Eats. I don't have no problem with none of them. But that GoPuff, man. And then why do I find out on a walk that I live not too far from a daggone distribution center? I said, what? Oh, I said, no. And I can't say, like, when I really am floating an extra, I will order a GoPuff. But now because, okay, I'm trying to get into this thing where I'm walking. This past 2 weeks, I ain't do too good. But I'm trying to get into this thing where I'm walking, where I'm using the ball day, right? And it's just like, okay, pay these people to drive through here and stop and drop your brown paper bag off to your front, door. When really, you just walk around the corner and get what you need. I contribute that to weight loss. I really do. Because I don't feel like always walking nowhere. And I mean, I have it to do the GoPuff, right? Or if I have it, I sit there and just go back and forth over these fees. I really do. Because just like, the fee would just be loss of fat if I walk, right? It's all of this nonsense over that blue and white app. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm gonna tell you all the email coming in because I'm on live, right? So that's one thing I've noticed. I noticed I'm a snacky. I'm a snack person. And when I go to the store and I just go in and get what I really went in to get, and I get all the way home, and it might be like an hour or two, and I'm like, I didn't get any snacks. Then I'm like, this is ridiculous. Now you going back and forth over this nonsense of not using your extra disposable money on a GoPuff, and you walked all the way around and walked back home and you didn't get no snacks. Like, I tell you, man, it's ridiculous, to be honest. And it actually aggravates me, I'm telling you. Sometimes I think the universe is like, you're going to lose this weight no matter what. You're going to walk, you're going to sweat. Like right now, the love of whether or not, if the weather is cold enough to wear a jacket, or if I've worn a jacket on my walk and I should not have because now I'm sweating like a beast. I'm here to tell you, struggle is real. Struggle is real. But yeah, one of the main things I've really noticed when it comes to my faith, since I have been out here doing me, is that we are a lot more abundant than we know. We are a lot more abundant than we give ourselves credit for and than we are grateful for, right? Because sometimes I look at the people and the different struggles that different people are going through, the different things that are cropping up because people had to change around how they were living very quickly at the drop of the pandemic and the quarantine. So people were like, they found all kinds of creative ways to live. And I got a family. So it's just like, well, creativity is not that creative over here. I got a family. You can't do that, right? And what I've seen is that my faith has been answered every single time with a solution, as long as I get out of my own way. And because this is such a critical time, I get out of my own way quick. I have to. I don't have time to be sitting around lamenting over whether or not I'm going to go left or right or left or right. You got to make a decision and you got to do it quick. And it's interesting. I remember at some point in 2020, I did a reading that said the age of Aquarius was coming in and that it was primarily going to be spirit led, and that we had to listen to spirit. Like our first thought, boom, do it. Don't sit there and vacillate back and forth, because there's just no time for that anymore. And increasingly, the world is getting more and more like that. That reading's on this channel somewhere further back. I don't remember what it is, but it is there. It might even say the age of Aquarius. I have no clue. But my point to you is that it's like I have been getting tested on a lot of things that I saw or that I did readings on at least 2 years ago, right? And 2 years ago, I knew that I was supposed to be going from my job then. And then I got the wake up call at the end of that year, and 6 months later, I was out there. So, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So, one of the ways in which I've learned of recent, like take for instance, as everybody knows, as I'm always talking about, because I'm so conscious of my skin when I get on these things, showing yourself, right? My skin goes up and down according to the stress. And of recent, I have really just gotten to this place of stop stressing, because you do this weird stress thing and things work out, but your face is looking like a map of the different hyperpigmentation spots that are popping up because I'm stressing. And it's just like, come on, that's lack of faith, that's lack of trust, and it's not like, oh yeah, big message, big one coming through. It's not like I'm not doing the work. And the work is not just shadow work, it's actually those 12 laws of the universe. Did I write that down here? 1 second. I know my cat is on the printed version. Let me see if I can find another one. Yes, I did. Here they go. Yes, baby. No, wait a minute. There's a break in there. Right? One of the things we have here, yeah, I have them. Okay, so let me just fold this so I can get to it quickly. We have been educated against the laws of the universe. We have been educated to be people who are always producing product for other people all over this planet. That's what people have been, and that's what world leaders are about. Is to make sure that you corral and keep your people doing what they're supposed to do, right? And so during this time, I have come to stumble across someone I had. Okay, there was a young lady over at TikTok whose content I watch. I can't think of her name right now, but she lives on the continent of Africa in a country, I forget which one. But she talks about the laws of the universe. And let me see, I'm gonna look her up on Instagram so I have her name and I can give her the right credit for what I saw her say. Let me see if she's always at the top, always doing something. Let me see. She doesn't seem to be here today. Big shock. All right, let me go to who I follow. Because I see her a lot on TikTok Live, but I don't happen to watch her there. But I've caught some of her things that she says, and her name is, I think, Swiri Nayar Kano. I'm sure I butchered her name, and I mean no disrespect. She talked about the 12 laws of the universe. And then I took a manifestation course with King Ashley Ann, shout out, and she reaffirmed them. So when I built my affirmations recently, I built them on that basis. And when you begin to realize that this is a world of give and take, a world of understanding the law of gender, right? Gender, right? You begin to understand that it's not just an abundant universe, it's not just abundant grass. When you understand that you are in vibe with the law of oneness, the law of vibration, the law of action, the law of correspondence, or the law of attraction, right? The law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, the law of perpetual transformation, the law of relativity, the law of polarity, which is an interesting one. I love it. The law of rhythm, and then the law of gender, which is the 12th law. When you realize that you are really working on doing those things, I just think your life begins to vibe differently. And I mean, I can't say I'm putting that to the test because I'm not necessarily, but I recently got into a pretty heated conversation with someone who can needle me at a certain level, and then the lack of confidence can come out like a sore thumb because this person is extremely important to me, right? The respect and also wanting to show that I'm accomplishing things is extremely important to me. But then you start to recognize, wait a minute now, you may not agree with everything that I'm doing, but according to the law of divine oneness, the law of polarity, the law of gender, the law of compensation, the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the law of the perpetual, I have to say that because I always mess that up, perpetual transformation of energy, right? Or transmutation of energy, the law of relativity. When you start to realize that you are giving good to the world, so you receive good. When you start to realize that the law of inspired action, you are moving according to being inspired. You're not just out here yang yanging for no reason. You are inspired, and so you're putting good information again out into the world. It becomes a different process for you, and now your faith is different. And I remember purposefully being like, let me write my affirmations according to these laws, at least the first 12. And I mean, it's almost turned into a little mini pamphlet of affirmations that I'm reading on a daily basis because that's the next thing. Got out here to change the mindset. You cannot live out here in this entrepreneurial wild, wild west without changing your mindset. You have to. You have to. That's the basics. You got to do that. And anyone will tell you that. And you have to come up with a statement for yourself. No one can do that for you. You have to come. You may have a guide at the beginning, but eventually you're going to tweak it and get that thing down to what really applies to you and what you're trying to affect change of in your own personal life, what it is that you're trying to change. And so mindset training has become a big thing. Let me tell you, I got prayer in the morning, we got meditation, we got affirmations. It's in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at something really quickly. We got affirmations. I have different walking, uh making sure that I achieve goals on a daily basis, and goals don't look like what you think the goals look like. I thought the goals always looked entrepreneurial. Child, they look very personal. And then the entrepreneurial space opens up. As long as I'm doing that shadow work, as long as I'm doing that training of my mind work, when my mind is not trained, I get more pessimistic. And also sometimes this coincides with some of what's going on in the planets in the heavens. And I've always been a person that studied that type of thing. Of course, everybody does from a Mercury retrograde standpoint, but there's so much going on right now. I begin to understand and quickly see that when the planets are moving through my degrees that I was at when I was born, it has a big effect on me. I can't really tell you that it has an effect on me and where I'm at right now. Those planets do when they are close to what I was born at. I got that today. That was a today thing, right? But when you start to realize that your mind has been taken and it has been trained, and you let that go, it is like faith on speed, because it's beyond that. As human beings, we are much more abundant than we are not, but they got us trained that we're not abundant, that we're not going to have nothing, that if you don't do this, you're not going to have nothing. There's so many movies about that. There's so many, coaches out here. There are people out here who are literally, being very nasty to people and all that kind of stuff, get money out of them and all that kind of stuff, because these people don't believe in themselves, because they don't realize you got to give good to the world to receive good from the world. All that is completely off axis. It becomes on axis when you start to move according to your own vibe. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure there may be other people out here in YouTube land who may agree with me that when you became a person that started working for yourself, you started to see connectives. Like, let's say I feel like there's a cook out there or some type of baker out there who has done a lot of work, who provides cakes or caters events. And sometimes you want to do something very good or serendipitous for people, and it almost lines up, doesn't line up, and then it completely lines up somewhere else. Right? And sometimes it's a paid event, sometimes it's not. But it all makes sense to you because you are doing the good thing. Those 12 laws of the universe are extremely important. And we have really been educated away from them. They fit in my opinion, with any religion. Legit. There's the law of vibration. We all dance. We all feel something in some type of way. The law of divine oneness, that God is everywhere and in everything and moving through us, for us, to us at all times. Yeah, that's big. The law of polarity. That means that when something is resisting you, resistance is happening, it's moving at a high pace, positivity is on the other side of that coming through. I think that's the law of relativity. I think that's what that is. Is that one? This isn't in order. I have to get my order because I have an order. In order. Yes, I do. My cat's on my main order, but I'm going to look at this real quick. My cat might get disturbed. I need my paper. Thank you. There you go. Anyway, okay. Like the law of inspired action, moving when you're inspired, as opposed to sitting someplace doing something over and over and over and over and over again. It does not inspire you, but it's taking all your energy. No wonder you feel drained by the time you leave, and get just enough food and enough chill time to get yourself back together again to do it the next day. I'm telling you, when I set up my affirmations according to these laws, the first 12 affirmations that I do, right? I began to see that because, like I said, I recently got into a little spicy conversation argument with someone where I had to stand my ground. And I had to stand my ground and understanding that no, we're not going to lower who I am because I don't agree with you. Okay, I give good, therefore I receive good. Right? Right? I've put this out into the universe, and so this is coming back to me. Right? This is real. This is all real stuff, and it really generates a good life for us. But I didn't know it. I didn't know until very recently, because I'm telling you, my face would be dotted up like a piece of carpet, according to stress in the past year, what's it been, a year and 4 months, or a year and what's that? Year and 4 months now. A year and 4 months. And recognizing that we need to take the criticism off of our back that we put back there, because a lot of the time we are running programs from a world that is completely opposite of these 12 laws, completely opposite, or they completely disregard them. Because the idea is that there are different world leaders who are corralling their people in their country to make sure that they are producing GDP. That's just the bottom line. That's what it is. And they want these. I think that maybe the possibility that the 12 laws of the universe make it so that, I won't even say the 12 laws of the universe. It could be religion. I can't figure it out. But they couldn't get those regular results from those people ahead of that. So, came in their process, the schooling, everything that made it so we only think and live in one particular way. But there's another way to live. And it's very positive, and it brings good things to you. There are people out here doing it. When I got that, it gave me power, and not even power, it gave me a sense of like this rod of confidence went right through me that has not moved since the day I realized what was happening and what I have been educating my mind about, which is that I come here to do this not just to talk, but to spread this word. Study the 12 laws of the universe. Just study them. Go to the woman's Instagram that I mentioned, Swari. One more time. Make sure I get her name right. Swiri Nayar Kano. It's SWIRY underscore NYAR underscore KANO. I know she has videos specifically at TikTok that talk about these 12 laws. I then had the fortune of getting into a manifestation course earlier this year and sitting down with a multimillionaire that explained to us these 12 laws. And then I looked further into them because I had been seeing them ahead of this. What we have to understand is that with this process, you're like, there's a give and take, there's an ebb and flow, there's a negative, there's a positive. Even me and my daughter, we get into these deep conversations about astrology and the negatives and positives throughout the zodiac and all that kind of stuff. That's why when you see me come here and I'm talking about, astrology specifically relating to Virgo, or when I'm talking about it relating to say Aries, or whatever, we have really been dissecting something, and some epiphany hit me and I saw it, and I've been able to see it consistently in my life actually happening. So in understanding these laws, you begin to because we understand the law of crops growing, we understand the law of the moon, we understand the law of tides, especially if you're a person that lives on a seashore, if you're a person that lives in a beach town, you know about the tides. Especially, I think about it. I remember one time I went to Beaufort, South Carolina. And I remember driving in over those bridges, and you could see the water was out. And they was like, yeah, it's low tide right now. It's low tide. Everything was about the tide in that town. Everything was about the tide. And when tide came in, tide was coming in. You had to get your behind out of the beach. It was like the timing was really set up according to that. So there's so much that we need to get back into when it comes to the natural ebb and flow of this planet that we're living on. And that's the update that I got to give you. Faith is number one, an amazing process. But number two, being open to a lot of the modalities and tools that I was aware of before, and those getting deepened, and then understanding the real the real process of changing one's mindset. That is the key. Because I'm telling you, I mean, you can look at all my videos. If you look at my skin, you can see it. It's sitting right there. I'm even going through something right now, but it ain't nothing like what it's been in the past. You just look at them, right? I was looking at videos of myself, not videos, pictures of myself last year, and even potentially videos where I look super swollen. Because that's the other thing. I finally left working with a bunch of people that were super critical of me, super critical. And thereby, even I was being super critical of me because of that. There, just being gone, I'm telling you, is a step in the right direction when it comes to your financial abundance. Because physically, it was bothering me. Physically, like a medical issue was cropping up. I had to get out of there. I was like, y'all gotta get out of Dodge. I am not walking out here and dropping dead by my car. There'll be a temp in my job anyway. Let's just get the temp in now, honey, and I'm gonna live. So living has been the process. And I'll be back again with another update. I think this is major. I hope for everyone that gets a chance to watch this, that you get to the point of the 12 laws of the universe. If you have gotten this far in the video, hello, welcome. I'm Amira. This is Bathing in Herbs and Dill on the Run. We're Bathing in Herbs. We're going to talk about all things spiritual in all kinds of ways. Bathing in the food, bathing yourself, bathing your life. Dill on the Run, we talk about community. If you have made it this far, I say thank you. Please subscribe, like, and share this video, because I think everyone needs to understand that the 12 laws of the universe is the key to changing your life. Have a very good evening. Peace. All right, I'm going to end, I promise. I know how. I'm doing it.